live.
Jesus Christ above.
Yeah, remember?
Yes, hence the live thing going on.
Ah, yeah.
Hello!
Live. Sorry.
Dino Dave will get it.
Go on, fire.
Hello.
Live.
Why did I fall for it? I had to put up with this for a solid nearly 3 days at Cheltenham. So worth it. Hello, and welcome back to the Finish Line, proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets, the new home of Jamie Moore. Like that. We're sponsored Jamie Moore now. Hence the Jamie Moore thing.
That's cool.
Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie. Jamie might be on our Cheltenham Festival preview night. Which is... I could literally announce our Cheltenham Festival preview night right now.
And me and Dave on it.
You're still iffy after last week.
I'm on a thin line now in a minute.
Moving on. Sean,
well, it's a good job I tipped the 11-1 winner of the Greatwood Hurdle.
Who won the Greatwood Hurdle?
West Cork?
West Cork, yeah.
Anyway.
Someone wrote in Great Britain 16, Ireland 3. There was 3 Irish runners.
Anyway, we are here to look back over all of the weekend's action at Cheltenham, and we will touch on the Morgiana Hurdle. So it was first off, Cheltenham met and surpassed every expectation I had.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Unbelievable place.
Have you ever been, Tom?
Yeah, I've been a good few times, yeah. It's class. The only day I wouldn't go is Gold Cup Day. It's just too busy. But apart from that, the November meeting is especially class because you can move around and see everything.
It's a lie. You
the
didn't go to
smell
November
of
meeting.
the turf even over there.
He got so excited about the smell of the turf. We're
amazing.
walking down after one of the races. You smell that? It's like, oh, he's at the farting again. Guinness farts. Oh, Jesus. It's like, you smell the turf. Do you know what it reminded me of? A cold winter's morning playing a football match.
Yeah. Paula Baldwin wrote in there, am I still getting the job if a vacancy comes up? We met Paula. She
Afternoon, Paula.
And Chris. And yeah, Tom, you're on
There's people putting applications for your job.
Puddy was a photographer for the 2 days.
Puddy became our personal photographer for Cheltenham for the 2 days.
Thanks to everybody that came and said hello as well. There was loads of people. We got a point off Mr. Deacon who told me I didn't like him when he was in the podcast with the test group. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
In fairness, though, we had probably one of the best moments with Mr. Deacon with the Gin Online Home moment in the Arkle Bar, which was fantastic.
Mal and his partner Karen came down and said hello.
We did. A few other people.
Oh,
Nagamanai!
Mr. Dan himself came down and got us a drink as well. So there was loads of people.
Yeah. Did you just grab free drinks off everyone for the weekend, basically?
They weren't putting Puddy.
They what?
He wasn't really drinking though, was he?
Who?
Puddy don't like Guinness, and there was no Heineken, so he didn't really get to drink a whole lot. And we met Jack from Next Gen as well. We
did. Well, thanks to everyone who came over and is supporting us and will always keep on supporting us. We really do appreciate it. And hopefully we will be getting to more meetings over in England. And next one really is the Dublin Racing Festival.
I'd nearly go back to Cheltenham in 3 weeks' time.
So would I. Jesus Christ, it was unreal. But
all right, lads, I'll put you on the spot here. Are we going to the festival?
No,
I'm not going this year anyway.
Cheltenham's amazing. Are we going to the festival? No.
We talked to a few people over there, and they said that Cheltenham Festival, unless you have a box or you're in some special enclosure, you can't move. You're like sardines in a can. And I just don't like that. It was hard enough to get into the stands on the Saturday. And
Saturday was busy, yeah. There was 23,000 or something there Saturday.
35.
Everyone was congregating in the one area because they were all in the parade ring or they were all over watching the race. But it was deadly. I'm in the process of booking the November meeting for next year again. So.
Twilight wants to know, what do you gain by being at the course for 3 days compared to watching on TV? It's the whole. It just grabs you, for the lack of a better phrase, just grabs you by the balls, and it just drags you in. Yeah, atmosphere.
The experience.
Smell of the turf.
See the race courses, the race horses up close and personal. Beautiful pints of Guinness in plastic glasses.
It boggles my mind.
It's amazing to me that it actually works.
Boggles my mind.
The betting ring. Fans, yes. The view of where they have the fence, the last fence and the last hurdle positioned perfectly, where you can. Well, we sat down at with small seating area down by the Guinness Village on Friday to watch what's the horse? The Gary Moore horse. Editor de
Geet. And seeing all them fly over that now was a sight to behold. Look, it's just something you need to experience. Wow.
Look at the comment.
What?
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. No, wow.
How did that go, Dave?
I was quite laid back all weekend.
You were my fuck. You gave out about everything.
To be honest, Tom, I was fucked on Friday.
We were, where was it?
I thought I was dying.
We were standing.
We're standing looking at Gin and Lyman. I was falling asleep standing up.
Yeah, he was like that, swaying. I was like, he's going to collapse now.
See,
get that into you quick.
My hard thing is doing better. But anytime I've done anything new or different, like out of routine, it's kind of hit me hard. And getting up after 2 hours sleep, traveling straight to Cheltenham, a couple of pints, the middle of the day after being awake for like 14 hours, I was like that. But I came back around. I was all right there.
I figured out I can just sleep on the spot now these days.
Got me a Lamy Surge scarf as well for the old boy.
May he rest in peace.
Very nice, yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with the guys there on for the festival for Gold Cup Day. I've been to Gold Cup Day twice, and I'd never go again. I don't think, unless I had a runner. It is just way too busy. The other days aren't too bad. You can move around a little bit. And I suppose just Cheltenham as well itself. It's just like, if you haven't been, go, because it's like no other race course or racing experience, is it? Like, I've never been to a race meeting like that.
Everybody was really camouflaged.
Everybody's dressed like autumnal trees. They look like army people, but they're not army people.
And the only way you can spot them was the little feathers coming out of the caps.
There's like 4 different colour greens and browns, and they're all wearing one or the other.
It's all khaki greens and oranges and
cream. The ladies were fantastic looking. There was some beautiful women there.
No comment.
The racing, the sales were on, Luke, on the Friday. We were walking out and they were starting. And
we stood there to see was Tom sneakily staying in there.
2 days for me, lads.
Wouldn't have been if your Aunt Shawnee would have bought something off prize money.
My Drogo is ginormous.
He's a big bastard. I went out to grab I went out to back Gin online, and I seen him gallop him just up to the start. And I came back into him and said, that yoke is massive.
Huge. He's much in the Manila Indo mode, where this TV does no justice to how big an animal he is.
Massive. Huge.
Didn't much help him when he hit the ground, though.
And the other, Gin Online, she's quite a lot smaller than I thought she was.
Yeah, she's quite compact and kind of skinny. And
that brings us into our first topic. My Drogo fails to stay on his feet. I was going to put this all into a skeleton compilation.
My Drogo got skeletoned.
You just got skeletoned. We come up with that phrase.
Protectorate got skeletoned.
Proshima
got
skeletoned. The thing in the second last yesterday got skeletoned. I think today got skeletoned.
He spent some lot of time hitting the ground all weekend.
He spent more time on the floor than you did.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. First off, look, there's no 2 ways about it. He was going to piss in. Second off, how the name of God of Rachel stay on that. Third off, his racing brain is awful. And I say it again and again and again. He fails to deliver on big days. I know people say he won a Newbury Negra, but that's one in how many?
He's got, to be fair to Dan Skelton, he's a right good crop.
Dan has some horses. Harry leaves it down a lot. I know it's his brother and everything. There's going to come a time where he's going to have to be tough and say, and I'll always go back to it. If he was a top class jockey, I know he was younger, but he barely got any rides for Paul Nicholas when he was there. He hasn't improved that much. Let's be honest about it.
Naked HD XYX. Hey, I'm waiting for you. 18+3.
I think that's for you.
This happens all the time.
You.
Oh my god.
What's your thoughts on it altogether, collectively?
The horse first, to be fair to Putty, he called it, and we had discussed it at length on Wednesday. He is fiddly over his hurdles last year, and I think every fence bar, maybe two, he left his back hooves in the fence when he was jumping over. And after jumping the first Putty said he won't stay up. When they eventually up the pace, he'll fall, which is precisely what happened. He would have won. He's very talented, big, strong horse. Regards Harry, he cost protector at the race. He was way too far back.
We'll go to that. You leave that.
But that's what I'm getting onto his racing brain. He's either, I don't know whether it's just Cheltenham or is there other courses. Obviously, he fell on Shamblew, but that would have won. He's either too far back or goes too soon. Cam Lynch was talking about it on Up in the Ante as well. He's actually bang on the money. It's pretty much what we were saying regarding his racing brain. And he's winning around all the tracks midweek, but when it comes to that, like championship races, and obviously it's not the festival, but Cheltenham,
it's a different kind of pressure.
It's a different kettle of fish, Cheltenham. It's once a month for 6 months, and it's a big deal. It's graded race, and they're getting ready for the festival. It's big handicaps. And I know he won twice yesterday, but like the horses are there, he's bound to win. He made a load of mistakes all weekend. A load.
Like the way you kind of look at it, it's what can he do when the pressure's on. It's like compared to football players. You have your big game players who might do nothing in training, but they turn up on the big day. They know what's going to happen before everyone else knows what's going to happen. He knows where to be before the other jockeys know to be. The likes of Ruby Walsh, Barry Gershie, Paul Carberry, Davy Russell, Jack Kennedy to an extent, Rachel, they all have that extra percentage of know-how of where to be. Prime example, Rachel Blackmore last year, she rode them jockeys to sleep in some of them races. He just doesn't have that something special that makes him go to the next level. Look, I know we're slating him. He's not the worst jockey in the world, but he's not a top-level jockey. When we're comparing to the likes of Rachel Blackmore, to Paul Townend, Davy Russell, he's not on their level at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think Ruby actually called him out on ITV. He didn't so much call him out. He just said that he thought he got it wrong, and I was thinking the same thing when it was in running. Gin Online was jumping out to her right, and she was hanging to her right markedly. I couldn't believe he went up on the outside of her, especially coming into a bend. And I think he was lucky enough. She didn't jump out to her right then when he went up on the outside. But why he didn't just sit and take a lead, he was clearly going the better. Like from a long, long way out, he was clearly going the better. All he had to do was sit there, jump the second last behind her. I'm sure she would have jumped out to the right again if she was on her own. Go up the inside, jump last, go and win. Like you don't need to kick on and go and win by 30 lengths. Like you just need to win the race. So the main thing surely for that horse would have been getting him round over those fences, and he didn't do that. And it was just a bit weird that he got into a race so far out when it was clearly going to be. He was clearly going to be the winner. My Drogo though looked very good. I thought he jumped very, very well, and he's pretty exciting, I suppose, isn't he? Not based on any form or anything like that of the race, just based on he actually jumped pretty well up until a novice little mistake where his feet just didn't come out in time, which I'm sure he won't do that again. Yeah, no, I thought he's pretty good, and we'll see what happens. But he looks like a fence could have brought him on a bit, and he jumped very well in the main. So good performance.
Based on what he has the potential to do, he could be by far England's best novice chaser. If he just cuts out the little novice mistakes, which he obviously will going forward in time. He's a very exciting horse. There's no two ways about it. He takes your eye straight away when he goes past you. He's every bit of a chaser. I'm looking forward to seeing him going forward. Where he goes now is another thing.
He's going back there. He's going back there in December. Dan Scout came out and said today. Yeah.
Dino Rex, who would you have instead of him? Sean Bowen.
Yeah, Sean Bowen is tops.
I think Sean Bowen's is so underrated. It's not even funny. He'll have Henderson's job in 2 years.
He gave back in the last unbelievable ride on Saturday or Friday.
Friday. We'll be talking about Harry again right now. Third time lucky to win.
From our vantage point in the stands, Captain Tomcat was coming back. It was diminishing lengths. He went on too soon on the horse, and he was crawling up to the finish at the end. So, yeah, I think he was lucky to win. I think the horse in second he was definitely not going to be beaten by much, if by any.
Yeah, as they said, from our standpoint, where we were standing, he jumped the second last, third time lucky, grand, and then Harry kind of looked behind his legs, whether he was looking at, oh shit, I've not much left under me, or how far back are they. He kind of steadied then into the last to make sure he got over.
Well, he definitely
didn't. But the gap was diminishing, whether it was him steadying up or whatever. But Captain Tomcat was coming there for a second run. Probably would have won. We don't know. He fell at the last. Who knows? Cannot ever in a million years have him for an Arkle winner whatsoever. He's not good enough. If that's the best they have as a novice for over 2 miles, no chance. Can't have him whatsoever. I think he's 8-1 now. Wouldn't touch him with a barge pole. What do you think, Tom?
I probably still thought. I think he probably still would have won, but I would give it to you. Definitely wasn't the kind of impressive performance that everyone thought he was going to give, based on the back of beating Buddy Rich by 8 lengths in a novice chase around Cheltenham. I just think he was the first horse to come out, and he jumped very, very well. He jumped well again at the weekend. And I think everyone got excited, didn't they? And look, for me, there's going to be a few that are better than this lad. I could see him finishing third in an Arkle if it turns out like it has the last few years, and there's 8 bloody runners, and one of them falls, one of them doesn't run their race, one's 100 to 1. But no, I think, and I know I saw someone said it like, oh, here comes the anti-English stuff. It's not really anti-English. It's just so difficult at the minute because all the best horses are in Ireland.
Yeah, like I don't get this anti-English. Right? Like it's not anti-English. It's just the best. We're calling it as it is. We're always going to call it as it is. Whether it be English, French, Irish. If we think an Irish horse is shit, we say it's shit.
The best horses and the best jockeys are in Ireland at the moment.
It's plain and simple. Like it's not an anti-English thing at all. It's just we tell it how it is. We don't bullshit about our views.
The best named trainer, Big Gordo.
Big Gordo. Good Lord. But do you know what also it gets me what kind of gets this whole, they're trying to hype up the horses. Racing TV put up a clip of him jumping the third last or the fourth last where he winged it. But the other two behind him did the exact same thing. Winged it the exact same way he did. Go back and watch it. They all take off in about the same place and land running. I don't get it. I know it's probably for media PR shite, but that's how some of the horses get way overhyped and underpriced, which is good because it makes a market better for us if we want to look somewhere else. But for an Arkle contender, not a hope in hell. Do we agree or disagree?
Yeah, not for me anyway.
Yeah, I could see me in third or fourth in an Arkle though.
Right, moving on. Midnight Shadow shines at Cheltenham. Well, this lad proved me wrong. I didn't give him any hope in hell. Done it very well. Again, we're going to have to look back at what Harry done. Taking that away from Midnight Shadow, he nearly fell off and slipped up on the last Ryan Manu done went to stay on him. Good winner. Would have been an even more impressive winner had that not happened.
Would he? Or would Cool Cody have won?
I think Cool Cody was coming to the end of his tether. I think he was pulling him back the whole time, as in the lengths as he was getting closer and closer. Would have finished second at worst. I think Midnight Shadow had, if you think of the mistake, kind of, they didn't bring him to a standstill, but he's had to start his feet out and go again at the foot of the hill. That takes a lot of effort to get going again. So if he landed running, I think he would have won either way. But
yeah, I actually think how it would have turned out is the two of them. There wouldn't have been much between the two of them, and I think they'd have been further clear of Protectorate because they'd have kept going themselves. You know, Midnight Shadow, when Cool Cody went, he'd nothing to race against, and he was looking around and idling a bit up the running, and you know that gave Protectorate a chance. I think if Cool Cody would have stayed up with him, he'd have pushed him all the way to the line at least. So I actually think there'd have been another couple of lengths clear. So,
yeah, bar the mistake, he would have won further. Bar Harry having him in a bad position. I know he was kind of jumping out a bit. Positionally wise, again, you have to question it when you finish that fast.
I was annoyed by it.
Or not.
The two horses I put up placed, but it says on the Racing Post, Harry said Protectorate made a bad mistake at the 5th, and I think that's why he was saying he was so far back, but I didn't see no real bad mistake from him. We were talking about it. I had him as the grade 1 horse in the race going forward. And just keep him out of trouble, but he was definitely too far back. I feel for the horse because the way the race ended up, he probably should have won. And maybe, if the other horseman, Cool Cody, had stood up, it wouldn't have been that way. But you take it, what happens? You have to jump the fences. But I do think Protectorate is the horse to take out the race. First run, carrying top weight, staying on at the death, probably stepping up 3 miles, go King George. I think he's a good horse.
He's a very good horse.
Should have won. Will always worry me.
I think he'd be better going around right-handed. I think a track like Kempton might suit him. I wouldn't be surprised to see him there now.
I actually do think he'd run a big race in the King George if that's where he goes.
Yeah. He's a horse now I really like. He could be something very good in throughout the season. Look, taking that away from Midnight Shadow, he could be on the... He's an 8-year-old now. He's rated 147. What was he getting? He was getting £7 off Protectorate. He needs to improve again if he wants to go to better things, but it's not saying he can't. Later, I just don't like the horse at all. He ran a good race. Ran a good race. Fair play to him.
We did say he'll probably run into a place.
Just done what he does. He's not good enough to win it.
He'll always
only been 2 lengths though. I thought it was a really good run. I thought it was a really good run from Simply the Bets as well. He just got tired. I thought he was going to win it for a second, and he just looked like he got a bit tired for me.
You know, them are just at the level. They're not as good as. Look, Simply Best probably should be better than he was in his younger days. I think they're just at a level now.
Caribbean Miles poor again, wasn't
he couldn't jump. He was diabolical jumping. Al Dancer,
a strange horse.
Stop now with him. Which feel for Cool Cody because he was running one hell of a race. I thought Adam Wells gave him a great ride again. Same way he done it last year. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
How does he constantly have a low weight on his back and he always runs well?
I don't know. That chap made it.
On Protectorate as well. I don't like he made that bad mistake, and I don't think he helped Harry. As in, it looks like one of those that if he was ridden him closer or whatever. I just kind of think he found himself in that position, and he was trying to make headway for as long as he should have been.
But you not think he had enough time too reposition himself, creep his way back into the race.
He was miles too far back at the top of the hill.
It happened at the 5th.
There was a few of them miles too far back. Like
he was pushing out
hard, and he wasn't going to come back. Like
he was pushing them along a good way out there. It's not like he was sat there cantering, and just timed his run completely wrong. He was niggling them along and pushing them along, and I don't know.
We take all that out of it. Realistically, not the best renewal in the world. Realistically,
I thought that was a really good race.
As in, what can they go on to do now?
The comments are saying it like last year, a lot of them didn't go on to win a whole lot. The other horses did. I don't know. I don't think there's a festival winner. You're asking me that.
No. There'll be might be one or two players. I think Midnight Shadow, if he turns up for a handicap again, he could run a huge race again. Your friend is back again. I think if they give Cool Cody a break and bring him back nice and fresh, I think he could run a hell of a race again.
Yeah, there might not be any Grade 1 winners in there, lads, but I wouldn't put it past. A lot of these are going to turn up at the festival, and a lot of them will run their race because that's what they do all the time. I'd like Cool Cody. I wouldn't put it past him running a massive race again at the festival. Same with Midnight Shadow, same with Lawler, same with Protectorat. I don't know, where would you go with Protectorat now?
I don't know, because you're kind of thinking, is he a Grade 1 horse? Look, realistically, I couldn't give him a chance in the King George at all if he goes against them, who is going to line up. And is he kind of stuck between being a good Grade 2 horse? Look, we don't know yet because he's second season novice, and a Grade 1 horse. He has to jump a good bit to get to Grade 1 level. If that's even if he says he moves up and trip to 3 mile, if he stays down 2.5. If he goes Ryanair route, look, I know we're talking about Cheltenham again. Ryanair route, he has Allaho, possibly Roy Allen, and so on. If he goes Gold Cup, he has Endo, Aplutard. He has, who else in the Gold Cup? Ecladerie.
I don't think they'd go Gold Cup. I don't think they'd want to step him up that far straight away.
Champion Chantry House, the JP bandwagon.
I'd maybe run him in a few Grade 1s. I think he'll probably get beaten a few of them. The problem with lower graded races is I think he gets a penalty for his Grade 1 win as a novice. But I'd bring him back to Cheltenham for the festival for a handicap. And if he was off, he's proven now that he can run off that sort of mark. So, if he goes back there again off that kind of mark at the festival, I think he'd have a very good chance now in a handicap.
Right. Sporting John has a sporting chance in the Stairs. This is one horse I took out of Cheltenham where I went, I can actually see this happening. He really interests me now for the Stairs. I like the way he looked. He looked, what's the word? He looked he looked the best horse in the race as the way he was going about his business. And the way he picked up was very good. Whether they go back over fences with him or not, I don't know. But I think he'd have a huge chance in the Stairs if they kept him to hurdles.
I think they will. I think they will probably keep him to hurdles now. His jumping did leave him down a little bit as a novice. So I can imagine, they will stick to hurdles now. And I think in a division that
it's not good. It's not a great division.
There's a couple in there, mainly the other Philip Hobbs horse. But it's not the best division in the world. You look at it, Classical Dream is favourite for it. Time Hill, Flora and Porter, Galloping Deschamps, latest exhibition is spiffing the market. So, wow, what price is he for that? Wow, he's 25 to 1.
Yeah, no, I put him up earlier this season first.
That's
John wouldn't be within 20 lengths of Flora and Porter. Not a hope.
Look, I'm not saying he'd win it, but I think he'd have a good chance in it. It's not a great division when you pick it apart.
He's not a bad horse either, Dave. Like, he beat Chamblou last year. His form is decent enough. I wouldn't rule that out at all.
I think I think they should run champion that for 100%. Fencing is terrible.
Chance running in the better.
I know he is. And I think if that goes tits up,
I hope it doesn't. I hope he wins.
they'd have to go back.
That
is Wednesday's argument, though.
Hope they leave him lead.
That's Wednesday's argument. No, that one. Where are we going?
Next.
Newbury Negra takes down a below par champion. We had a chat about this on Sunday and today. Honeysuckle never looked like she wanted. Honeysuckle put the kettle on.
Honeysuckle's not going chasing, Andrew.
Damn it. You said I didn't see the parade ring. You said she didn't want to know about it. She didn't go a yard in the race, where last year she didn't look like she was going a yard either, but it was a way worse race last year and she got away with it. Newbury Negra, very good. Has improved again from what I can see.
He runs very well fresh.
Yeah, definitely throw up at the top now with Shiskin and Energamene and Shakan. Probably needs to improve again to beat Shakan. Shiskin. I think he beat Shakan anyway, to beat Shiskin and Energamene. But has proved that he's improved and definitely goes in there with a chance.
I wonder will they run him again? Because he clearly runs well fresh. If I was them now, I'd just keep him for the festival.
I'd run him Tingle Creek.
Put him away then.
Put him away then.
He definitely runs well fresh. Did the same at Kenton last year out of nowhere after getting off for God knows how long.
But saying that though, he beat. Yeah. Did he run again after? He didn't run again after Kempton, did he?
I don't think so.
No, he went. He had an 80-day break and went from Kempton straight to the champion chase. I think they'd have to run him again sometime around then. Like, yeah, maybe the Tingle Creek, that's gonna be a bit sooner, obviously, than Christmas. But yeah, I think you're right. He does go very well fresh. It did look an improved performance. Politolog is 10 now, and he's trying to mix it with these younger 2-milers. That's probably a very good run for him, and he's probably liable to get beat by one. And I thought put the kettle on. Yeah, it was like watching last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And she just was up against maybe a better horse this year and didn't get away with it. So
just something about Newbury Negra now. Look, on what he's done, should he not be a lot closer to Shiskin? He's at the beat. Look, just going on. This is playing devil's advocate. He's beat Politolog, not last year's winner. He's beat Put the Kettle on this year's winner. He's beat Altior. Technically, form-wise, he's done a hell of a lot more than Shiskin has done.
I would think Shiskin and Energamene are.
Oh no, I'm not talking about
that. Ones ahead of all the others. I couldn't have Shakan at Cheltenham after last year. He do his business in Ireland, no doubt about it, but couldn't have him at Cheltenham.
Put the Kettle on is 20-1 now for the champion chase, and I can tell you now for a fact, she is 20-1 on the day. I'm backing her each way, 100%.
She'd run better in March, all right.
She did exactly the same last year, and everyone's going to say, "Oh, well, she won last year. She didn't win this year." She just didn't get away with it this year because there were better horses there.
Yeah, last year was a shit race.
Yeah, it was. You look at what she beat last year: Al Dancer and Getaway Trump. So
diabolical.
She's also he's going to throw in the old strop, and she was very stroppy yesterday.
She beat. So if you put it this way, right? She beat Rouge Vif by 8 lengths last year. She actually beat him by 10 lengths this year. So there you go.
Look, you can't write her off because the festival especially, she just turns up. Whatever it is about March.
Cheltenham.
She turns up. 20-1 is a huge price. As Tom said, if she's that in the day, I'll have a bit of that. Thank you very much.
Sorry, yeah, that was the novice chase I was going on about. Last year, it gets even bloody worse. She beat Duke de Ginevra, Riders on the Storm, and Deffy, who pulled up because he just stopped. So, yeah, that form last year was terrible. And and then she turns up in the spring and puts in a massive performance. Again, going there fresh. So don't write her off. I'd be looking at her each way definitely for
yeah, and I think a festival pace will suit her a lot more. She get dragged into the race a lot easier, and she stays. I think a quicker pace at the festival, more horses around her, keep her more interested. 20-1 if she is on the day will be massive.
And if you look at Racing Post ratings, she actually ran to 156 last year and 156 yesterday. So I have that. I'd agree with them. I think it's pretty much the same level of form. Don't rule her out just because of that. But Newbury Negra, in fairness to Skelton's, does look like he's improved.
Nice about him. I follow him so much over hurdles. So much.
He's another big horse that they have as well. He's a good horse.
Right. On to the next one. West Cork sees off Brave Adagio. Very good performance by Dan Skelton. What was he off? Nearly over 600 days.
Yeah.
Getting back and win this, but also unbelievable performance from the 4-year-old carrying that much weight in such a competitive handicap. First off, West Cork probably looks primed now for one of the handicaps at Cheltenham. The county hurdle, you can see him doing it again.
They've done it a few times at the festival. Number of horses, they put him away and brought him back for the county hurdle and stuff. Fair play to Dan. He knows what it takes to win the handicaps and the marks they're on. He doesn't get it wrong on that sense. But the one I'm interested in now, because Adagio ran so well, I'm on the bandwagon with Tom. Monmoral is going to be an absolute weapon.
Go on, Dave.
Smashed Adagio at Aintree. I know Adagio ran through the last, and some people he's come back at. Monmoral bet him all ends up at Aintree.
Going to beat him.
I'm telling you, he's going to win the fight in fifth, and he's going to do it very impressively.
Would you have back him for the champion hurdle then?
I'll back him right now. Well, not right now.
Not Skelton, sorry. Nichols has said he's going to Aintree. And I think he'll go to Aintree because he just sees him as a chaser. So I honestly, lads, Monmoral is really excited. Again, back down on the anti-English stuff because there's another horse we're really excited about.
Monmoral 4-1 for the fight in fifth. Yes, I would love.
He's what price? 4-1.
That's what's in the comments there.
That is a steal. That guy's not very reliable though in the comments. That's the only thing.
I think you mean he's going to Aintree at the end of the season, is it, Tom, for the Aintree hurdle?
Yeah, they're saying Nichols said his target was Aintree.
What is the market in that?
For what?
Fight in fifth.
I'll have a look.
The filly is going there. Nicky Henderson's again.
Coffee time.
Yeah.
Take her on. She's 2-1. I told you that guy in the comments wasn't very reliable. He's 11-4 for the fight in fifth.
Must be Scottish prices.
It must be Scottish, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's still a low price.
That's a great bet, lads. He is a machine, that horse. I really like him. Epitome was not good last year.
No,
she's
not the same. She's not the same.
She'll be better again this year. Now, we said it all along. All Nicky's horses weren't running right last year.
Yeah, and just back to Greatwood because that's what we were just on about. And in fairness to Harry Skelton, it was a good ride on this horse. He did drop the stick after the last, but it was a good ride. And if you look at that was off 134. Let's say they put him up £6. That's 140. I'd love to be going to Cheltenham with him off 140. It's a long way between now and then. I've no idea what the hell you're going to do with him. But if you could protect that mark going there off 140, you'd have a cracking chance.
The horse I actually took out of this was the third. No ordinary joke.
Obviously, wasn't he?
He pulled like a bastard for not 3/4 of the race.
He done the classical dream as well. He had his head down in the grass.
And he still managed to finish 2 lengths off West Cork.
Probably good.
He has some engine. If he learns how to settle, and if you stay, he's not going to stay on that mark, but he's not going to go up much for it. Jesus, they put him away for the festival. Run him 1 or 2 more times and try to learn him to settle and let him go at the festival.
You can imagine
he could be anything.
He's a good racer.
The form of this race is red hot, lads. Some years it's not, but the right horses were at the fore in this. West Cork, Adagio, No Ordinary Joe. They were all ones that we said, look potentially very well handicapped. Campron, there's another unexposed horse, and then Tritonic in fairness ran a good race in 5th as well. They are all the unexposed ones were at the top of this, and I really think there's a lot of winners to come out. Adagio, I agree. What a run from a 4-year-old in a competitive handicap hurdle off 11 stone 12. Like, excellent run. Be interesting to see what they do with him now. But yeah, like, he's turned out to be a proper horse, isn't he? Yeah, form of that though, my take on that race would be the form is red hot. So watch where things go from that race.
It's all the ones you would have hoped were in the top, all the progressive ones, as you said. Yeah, I think Adagio and No Ordinary Joe away from West Cork are by far the other two to take out first.
Yeah.
Right, where are we going now? Banners. Excuse me. One Magic Days had arrivals in a days. This was a very impressive win by Magic Days. She came on and off from her first run. Is it you that like her for the mares?
No, I think she's a lunatic. I wouldn't be backing her at all.
But she's the kind of horse I think that the more fences she sees, the further she'll win by.
She's a lunatic that I wouldn't be interested in.
What?
I think she's going to fall. She's just crazy. Like.
Yes, true.
I think the horses behind her yesterday went a bit further as well. So.
Yeah, but what's she beaten by? Ridiculous amount of lengths. I'm sorry, no. Yesterday, Cork. She won by 25 lengths on the bridle. She has some engine. She has a lot of talent. She needs to, I'll say, settle better. Yeah, probably settle better. She probably doesn't want the pace duel. She doesn't want someone taking her on.
She 100% needs to settle better. She's a lunatic.
But if you roll back to March, and it's like a No Ordinary Joe thing, look how hard she pulled throughout that whole race, and she still finished behind Tell Me Something Girl,
who was absolutely useless yesterday.
As are majority of Henry's horses right now.
Terrible.
They're not. They're flying.
She had the hope in the mirror. So
that was her first run of the season. No one was going to come on first. She done the same last year. She hit December time, or was it the Dublin Racing Festival, and she started hitting form, and she hit form for Cheltenham then. It's a long season. But my question is, beating around the bush.
Tell Me Something Girl run. Just ignore that. Did you get excited though by the winner, lads, of that race? Showing the form?
No, I was excited for Royal Kahala because I liked her last year. I was sad that she went so badly at Cheltenham.
Dysart Diamond was second in the race at Galway that Shona finished 5th in. We were only about 4 lengths behind her. So, yeah, pretty good for that one.
So what you're saying, we would have pissed up on Friday?
Yes. They gave McAlpine a load of weight, and he's absolutely useless, and he won that race.
How, in the name of God, is McAlpine winning a handicap at Cheltenham like that for 115? How?
Because we weren't there, that's why.
Because he was next in the netting after Shona wasn't right. Oh, she 100% would have won. They look like they had fun.
I could be still asleep on the cheese wedges right now.
They were in the little parade ring giving it socks.
Bastards.
Oh, well.
I have to apologise to our, as much as this kills me to do it as well, I have to apologise to our good Scottish friend. Mum Morale is 4-1 with Ladbrokes for the fight in 5th.
Kubo, will you put 10 of the finest Scottish pounds on Mum Morale for me right now? I have actually 20 in my wallet because they wouldn't accept it in the bank today.
Why?
Said it's not in circulation. So I'll send that one to you, Kubo.
I got done 20.
Yeah, I must. You wouldn't take it back.
Oh, brilliant.
Kubo, can you just get on as much as you can at 4-1 and let us know, and we'll split it between us. Thanks very much, mate.
What do you mean, no? Please.
Don't, Kubo. He gave out to you. Anyway,
Magic Days was good though. I wonder where they're gonna end up with her, but she was very good. What's that?
The Arkle at Leopardstown at Christmas time.
Yep.
No, she's that good, is she?
Only one way to find out.
Actually, go to that. He's not afraid of taking on the other horses.
Yeah,
he has a good record as well. I can get 9-2 with a boost.
Go for Andrew.
No, that was Kubo.
Kubo get a lot on, pal.
9-2 with a boost. I'll send you the 20. So give me 20 on it, please.
Don't do it. Anyway, moving on. Sharjah class showing through at Punchestown.
Dog shit race.
By far the best horse in the race.
A joke.
By far the best form in the race.
Yeah, we spent enough time giving out about the English.
It was shit
with no runners. It was a dog shit race. It's a shambles. 3 bloody runners in a grade 1.
I still got the winner though. Give me a bit of credit. Yeah, look, it's a shit race. I say a shit race. There's no standouts going to come from it. Spectacle wise, it was bad. You knew what was going to happen. They'll go steady enough, pick it up. Sharjah uses the kick, and off he goes.
Yeah, there are horse echoes in range. She needs a pacemaker.
Yeah, small fields don't
so much faster. She gets a pacemaker, she might be good, but that one yesterday.
Look, you can see Sharjah going on to the champion hurdles, the one at Christmas time, Dublin Race Festival place and winning one of them. But when it comes to the festival, he's probably a good bet for a place. But
looks like there's no challengers to Honeysuckle on here.
Nope, she looks safe.
It's just such a poor division at the moment. She's miles ahead of the rest of them.
Sanny here looks like he needs to step up and trip.
It is, to be fair,
What'd you do with Sanny here? Step him up?
Yeah, entry hurdle.
He's in that 4-year-old kind of bracket. Second season 4-year-old.
He'll probably go against Honeysuckle, I'd say, in the Hatton's Grace. He won't beat her, but that's the obvious target, I'd say. That's where he wants to go to, with 4. Definitely wants to step up and trip.
Okay. Now, this is the one I just wanted to put in. The Big Diane. Did you see that bumper? Win. Wow, did he pick up? He beat Jigginstown horse, which they paid a fortune for, I believe. Where am I? Wrong bloody thing. Punchstown. He won by 15 lengths. Barry O'Neill rode him. Once he pressed the button, it was an instantaneous turn of foot. Probably not the best bumper in the world, but the way he done it and the way he stretched out to the line, hit the line good and strong. He won't be in that colour the next time he runs, that's for sure. I liked what he done, and I liked the chances of him going forward to being something very, very special. Tom, do you see this?
I did, yeah. He was very good. I actually saw his first one at Roscommon and thought he was all right, but that was a September Roscommon bumper, so you never really know what you're dealing with. I would say as well, he's owned by Syndicate, who had a good bit of stuff on social media. Well done, lads. You are about to get paid, basically. Yeah, you're about to make a lot of money. Surely they'll sell him now. You'd have to. But yeah, no, fair play. He looks very, very good. Peter Fahey, a very good trainer. Hopefully he gets to keep him if he is sold. And yeah, best of luck. Just on Peter Fahey, Belfast Banter is actually being sold on an online auction that's they've started up for a bid, I think it's called. And they're just getting going. They've had a couple of auctions and they're going to be selling Belfast Banter in their next one.
In Pimlico's price range?
No.
Right, we are going to finish off with the eye catchers. What caught our eyes? Oh, no, eyes are brilliant. What caught our eyes over the weekend? Oh, damn, press again. So, Dave, who caught your eye?
I have a few. I thought the Triumph Triumph Trial winner. Night Salute is a good horse. A horse that you might see in different colours.
Also, another horse won't be in the same colours.
Say he will be sold. Fair play to them. They were celebrating as well.
Do you know, just sorry on that. Paddy Brennan, shout out to Paddy Brennan. Giving us socks when he wins at Cheltenham.
He doesn't get a lot of winners at Cheltenham, and he really enjoyed himself. So
Good man, Paddy.
But the two main eye catchers for me was Vanillier. I thought he was really good. He's very lazy.
Forgot to put that in. Good man.
Very lazy. He's not useless.
He's not. He's bad jumper.
How is he useless?
That thing has got. That was a terrible race. He's 6-shooter killed himself, and then he just beat another yak, and he looked like he was going to get beat at one stage. He's terrible, like. He's absolutely terrible.
Anyway, I'm sure he'll go on and do very well in the 4-miler. And then Oscar Elite, he was going to absolutely batter the other horses in that 3-mile novice chase yesterday.
Until he got skeletoned by someone else.
Brendan Powell. But yeah, he travelled supremely well. He had jumped pretty well in the main up until that point, and he was going to go and beat them fairly easily. Someone said 3 under through 5 looked decent, and he was going to batter him. So I thought they were 2 eye catchers for me.
Just before we go on to Tom,
is never going to get any credit ever.
His wasn't the third last. It was the third last and the second last. He nearly slowed down to a walk to jump the fence.
Because he's slow, he's never going to get any.
They're slow, and then there's just.
You only like him because he's grey. If he was a chestnut, you'd fucking hate him.
Yeah, not a stupid chestnut's going to break his legs.
Yeah,
what'd you say?
It's not about being grey.
Yeah, he stopped now.
Sure,
if it had been about being grey, I would have backed him last year for the Bartlett.
You didn't. You know he was wrong.
I did.
He probably backed another grey one.
Who did I back in the Bartlett? Last year.
Probably Streets of Doyen or some yak like that.
No, didn't back him. Surprised you didn't back him, John McConnell lover. I didn't back Statler either. Who did I back?
I have no idea who you backed. Ask me for. You don't know who the hell am I going to know?
I don't know.
Before we get on to yours, Tom, and another one that actually
I backed
was
Castle Robin, 50 to 1 shot. I'm back to the outsider.
So he acted.
How did that work out?
He won last week at Exeter.
He did. Good lad.
Castle Robin didn't run. He was a non-runner.
Yeah,
that's how that worked out, Dave. Well done. Probably back Fakira or some donkey.
I had him.
Who'd you back, Tom?
Had him back to Antipost.
I can't remember who I beat in that.
See, giving out the poor Dave down, you're slating. You don't even know who you back.
You didn't back the winner. That's all I fucking know.
I didn't back the winner anyway. No, I hate that race.
Never back the winner of that race. Before
if I had a 3-mile novice hurdler that could run anywhere near a mark of 135, I'd run it in that race.
Shauna.
She's not a 3-mile novice hurdler, but anyway.
I know. Anyway, before we get on to yours, Riviere Detail, whatever you say it, very impressive. Win the Grade 2 novice chase at Punchestown on the Saturday. What did you make of that? I thought that was very impressive. I know she's getting a lot of weight.
Getting all the allowances, basically.
Yeah. But very good.
Yeah, sure, why not? 4-year-old getting loads of weight. Give it socks. French Dynamite looked alright too. Anyway,
Tom, your catchers.
Mine's going to be a bit disappointing now because there were so many. I decided to just go with one, and Dave's already mentioned it. It's Oscar Elite. I was so impressed with this lad. The way he jumped, the way he travelled. The thing this season is going to be the Colin Tizard horses bouncing back after whatever illness they had last year. I'm taking the piss out of Vanillier, but Vanillier beat this lad by 10 lengths last year. But that said, we all know that the Tizard horses weren't right. So this lad managed to place in 2 Grade 1s last season. He looks like he's going to improve miles over fences. Really exciting 6-year-old by Oscar. I went for his pedigree. His dam is actually a half sister to Sub Lieutenant and Lord Windermere. So you can imagine he'll probably get a bit of a trip. Well, he does get a bit of a trip, but as in, he could, and I'm going to say this now, could potentially be a Gold Cup horse in a year or two.
Sorry, just
very stupid or very clever.
I wouldn't go with the latter.
Dave, thoughts on Commander of Death? He actually ran well yesterday, Kubo. He ran very well yesterday.
Stop. He's getting scrubbed along from.
It kept going, though.
Fell.
Them blinkers do a trick for him. He might win a race eventually, again.
Right. I have one or two. I touched on one already. It's No Ordinary Joe, Nicky Henderson horse that was third in the Greatwood. Again, if he settles down, learns to race, he could have a big, big future. One that ran yesterday in the Pertemps qualifier. Where the hell is it gone?
Down.
There. Dallas, they picked on.
I like to move it.
He travelled well through the race. He got brought into the race and just didn't have the finishing kick. Look, he's going to be at top weight if he goes to the Pertemps. He's in it now. I think they can work his season around turning up at that. He's a touch of class to him. He just caught my eye the whole way around the way he went through the race, and I think he could be one to take out for the Pertemps come March. So him, and look, obviously the big Dion, he caught my eye big time, and yeah, my Drogo as well. Physically caught my eye second I seen him. I think he could be a monster if he gets his act. I say get his act together. He fell over Novice Chase. He's going to learn from it. They all do. He could be something special. He could be the English monster that we could be all scared of.
Manel Indoor giraffes. They're huge.
He's big now. I like my Drogo. Yeah, so they're my eye catchers for the week. Go on, Tom.
Two things.
Ben keeps writing in. He really likes Shishkin, is what I can get from the comments that he's putting in.
Thoughts on Shishkin? I just don't like Shishkin as a horse. I don't care about his form. I just can't take them. Like some people can't take the other horse. I just can't take them.
I really like Shishkin for what it's worth.
Yeah, I just can't take them.
Boys, you should do a live podcast.
A what? Pascats?
Boys, you should do a live podcast some night and have a piss up after. It'd be some laugh.
That's what we did, isn't it?
We basically did that. We basically did that for the Cheltenham Festival preview last year because of lockdown.
We're having a live one this year. It's been all confirmed last week. I have the place booked. I have guests booked. And I just had to sort out a few other things.
I want... let me see. I want 2 liters of Evian water.
You can go fuck yourself.
I want 2 cans of Coke Zero ice cold. I want a packet of
tampons,
brownie M&Ms, a packet of cheese Doritos, and 6 cans of ice cold Heineken in my dressing room. Tom, what would you like?
I'm just going to go for the on stage bit. For the on stage, I would like a litre bottle of San Pellegrino sparkling water, and then I just like constant pints of Guinness until I get a bit fed up with them, and then I just like some Scotch whiskey. If they want to bring the bottle over with some ice in a bucket and a glass, that would be perfectly fine as well. So they're my requests.
Do you know what GQ can do? You can have it because I'm not going to pay for it anyway.
I want the pints of Guinness, as Kubo has said there in the comments. I want pints of Guinness, but I want them delivered from a different pub to that pub because I want them from the pub that I really like them from in Albies.
So when the white bit gets down to just a third of the way down, I want the new one on the way being poured.
Send the order in there. Taxi it, Uber it down to me.
Uber drinks. That's the new thing.
I'm a proper diva about this.
You're always a fucking diva anyway. Myself and Putty have named him we have named the male version of Karen's Dave because he bitched him on so much on Friday and Saturday.
I don't care. As long as I get my Guinness and my brownie M&Ms.
Stop being such a Dave. There's a ring to it.
Yeah, some brownies would be nice actually. Not brownie M&Ms.
Do you want the normal ones or the magic ones?
Have you tasted the brownie M&Ms, Tom?
No.
They're rotten. I tasted the other day.
Very nice. Very nice. Who wins the Betfair on Saturday?
We're doing that on Wednesday.
We're doing that Wednesday. But Champ is going to win. No, he's not.
Here, now the only thing is, I want to say one thing before I go. I've got horse running tomorrow. Do you know what it is?
Cool Arcade. He's favoured again, Tom.
11-4.
Again. This is his first run.
Yeah, well, every other horse you run is favoured.
They're not.
They are.
Yeah.
Who's the one that's at the winning his favourite?
You feeling the pressure, Tom?
Come on, Shauna.
Yeah.
Of course he is. Look at him. Of course he is. He's shitting the bike. He's not sick. He's just nervous.
Bringing in sick to work?
No, working from home, so it's fine. Yeah, no, I bought this one, so pressure. It's gonna be a lot of finger pointing my way if this doesn't work out. But I know he should have a very good chance. Gavin Cromwell's horse, though, I just seen there's been a load of money for it. They backed off the boards the last day as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's absolutely chucked in. But,
who's in the Ascot?
We'll see.
Best of luck, though, anyway.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
And we actually mean it.
It's very kind of you.
Champ is not declared.
Who's in the Ascot chase there? I just don't see it.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, the grade 2.
Benny's King, Sapage, Dashel Drasher, Defi Desai, Itchy Feet, Esport the Romane, Master Tommy Tucker, Lost in Translation,
That's a good race too.
Franco the Port, Pistol Whipped, and Tiger Roll. He's not going to run. Dashel Drasher back at Ascot. Thank you very much. On that note, we will see you on Wednesday, where we'll be going over the Betfair Chase and the Ascot Chase, whatever the hell that's called. What's it called? A Chanel Farmer 1965 Chase at Ascot. So until Wednesday, have a good Tuesday, and we'll see you on Wednesday.